What is good, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new edition of Boogie and The Bell. I am The Bell, of course, joined here with Boogie. Boogie, how are we doing?
Hey man, doing great on this special Easter Sunday edition of Boogie and the Bell. Happy Easter, man, to you
Happy
and the
Easter.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so not like a holiday person, so I'm like
it,
I'm just here at home. Like,
it's
I didn't go
it's
to my
it's a
girl's
Sunday.
family. Yeah. Did
It's
you
a
make it to
Sunday, so
family?
it don't for lunch kind of, but
Yeah.
it's Sunday. You don't get the day off, so it don't really hit the same.
I apparently tomorrow's like Chavez Day. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it means.
I'm like, I guess there's just some holiday tomorrow as well. But anyways, getting right into the show, we do got some things to talk about. A little bit of a slow week, we're feeling March Madness. We got a couple things going on. NBA's cracking down, a little light in the NFL news week, but we're gonna get right into it. And of course, we're gonna start with our L Boogie's GM takes. And L Boogie, who are we the GM for? What role are you taking, and how are you gonna manage?
All right, so this week I'm stepping in to the shoes of the GM for the Miami Dolphins.
Mm.
So the Miami Dolphins, they're coming off a good season that kind of had a sad
Yeah.
end. I'd say a good season when you think about it. We had questions about Tua and his health. Could Tua get it done? What was the team going to look like? And honestly, they had a good season. They were one game away from winning the division. I'll put it like that. They were one game away. They did lose to the Bills at the end, and that lost it for them. But if they win that one game, they're the division champs. They're the 2 seed in the playoffs. They went to Kansas City and had to play in the ice game, whatever it was, negative something, and they lost. I don't count that as a bad season. I'd say that was a good season for the Dolphins. The only thing is, can they improve on it? And the future outlook from that season. So the big thing right now, everyone's thinking, what do you do with Tua? Like, what do you do? Because he had a season where at some points he looked really good, and at some points he looked really bad. He's had the injury history, not this past season, but the season previously, where he had a bunch of concussions. So there's that to consider. And quarterbacks are going for 50+ million a year.
Mm.
So, big question is, what do you do with Tua Tagovailoa? I think I pronounced his last name wrong. Right.
What do you got?
I don't know. So my take for this, and it's super duper hypothetical, but what I would do if I am the GM of the Miami Dolphins, I do not extend Tua.
Oh, let's get right into it. Mr.
Let
GM,
me
why?
rephrase. I do not extend Tua to a big long-term deal where he's making $50+ million a year. What I would do if I'm the GM, I try to give him a contract extension on kind of a prove it type of deal. I'm thinking 2 years, 90 million, 95 million. Maybe you can get up to 3 years, 135, 3 years, 140. Like a deal where he's making good money. I'm not saying cheap him, but give him like 40 million, somewhere between 40-45 million dollars a year, but only 2 to 3 years, so you're not locked into him long term if things don't work out. So I say you try to get him on that deal, and if he doesn't want that deal, you trade him. You trade him. You trade Tua. You ship him off somewhere where he can maybe be successful. I just don't think you sign him to that top of the quarter of the market money. Like uh,
So
I
being a
don't think Tua is worth 55 million dollars a year.
so for a GM, you have to manage a lot of tough decisions. And with that being said, are you leveraging the not so great ending to the season? Because I think they had a good season throughout until the end. I think it was just a big blunder at the end. Are you using that against Tua because you feel like for this team, you're not ready to give him the biggest contract? Or do you believe, based off every single GM and recruiter, that they feel the same way, where they would try to get him on a similar contract? Because, you're shorting him on your team, but is somebody else going to offer him a super max? What's the talk of the town amongst you GMs?
I mean, I think certain teams who don't really have much going on, they would think about signing him to a long-term deal. And I'm talking teams
45 million a year,
I'm
30
talking teams,
guaranteed.
and I think it's a small subset of teams. I'm thinking like the New Orleans Saints. Um, Actually, that's kind of like the one that comes to mind is like the Saints who might sign him to like a long-term deal because I do think you might get a little bit more out of him than you do Derek Carr. But the list of teams that would actually sign him to a long-term deal or a big extension, I don't think it's a lot. So that's why I'm saying, like, listen, dude, you're here. We had a good season. Let's see if we can build on that. And in 2 or 3 years from now, let's say we, you play out that contract and you've done great. Maybe you win an MVP. Maybe we make a long playoff run, whatever. Then we can start to talk about, all right, maybe now I can lock you in for, that higher top of the or near the top of the market dollar. I just don't think he's I just don't think he's worth the risk right now. If anything, I'd rather get rid of Tua and go draft a quarterback.
All right,
That's
so
what
are
I
we
would
on the
rather
extension
rather
right
do.
now? Because I refuse to believe we're still on a rookie contract.
He is still on his rookie contract. I
Damn.
think he is extension eligible because he came in the same. He's in the same draft class as Justin Herbert.
Oh,
So I think this upcoming season is Tua's fifth year. So it's kind of time to sign the boy to an extension. But like I
I
said, I
like
would
two
sign him.
years. I just like a lot of money. I would prefer 2 years, a lot of money. Maybe not incentives. He's not in any position where he needs to be incentives based. He probably deserves a lot of money, but I would say another year for consistency. But I don't see the year going much different next year. I think they're going to be an explosive offense who just can't finish towards the end of the season. So
Now the thing with the Dolphins though, even though the offense kind of died down towards the end of the year, they had some health issues. Tyreek was kind of banged up on defense. They lost both of their edge rushers,
literally,
Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. They both went out before the end of the season. So I think they maybe had some other injuries. So they were just kind of bad break. You know,
it's
so I
17 weeks, long season.
Yeah, it is. So that's what I'm saying. Like you keep Tua, you sign him to a contract, you give him 40 million, $45 million a year, maybe with incentives it can get up past that $50 million mark, but I would not just hastily sign him to like a 5 year, $250 million deal. I'd rather go get Michael Penix on a rookie deal and see how that works out.
I would love to see them shop. I would love to see who would shop that contract, a supermax with Tua, and then I would like to know from there. So
Nobody. I don't think
yeah, that's why I would. If it's
like
absolutely
nobody.
zero teams, then I don't think Tua leaves anywhere, and I definitely don't think you're in a place to get rid, especially with your two receivers. You're not in a place to get rid of Tua, especially with the chemistry you built. I say give it 2 more years, but like you said, we're in the fifth year this upcoming season, so that's a tough one. That's a good role to take on. I like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty, moving into segment two. L Boogie and the Bell's trivia. The Bell will be going first. And my question for you, L Boogie, is we're not gonna do a time limit, but we're gonna do guess that player. We're gonna do NBA edition. That's gonna be your first and initial hit. I have a bunch of stats listed. I don't know everything, but I have college accolades, anything of that nature. And whenever you ready, now.
All right. Are they still active?
No.
Okay, so he's a retired dude. Were they a guard?
Yes.
Okay, so a retired guard. Did they retire like recently, like within the last decade?
Yes.
Okay, so they retired within the last decade. Did they play on a lot of teams or like one team for a long time or how many teams did they play on?
We have 6 teams.
6 teams. Okay, how long was his career?
Not that long. That's not a. If you have a long career in the NBA, that's not a lot of teams. His career was just over 13 years. About 14 seasons, maybe
Okay,
15.
14 seasons,
14 to 15 seasons.
six teams.
So
Did he
definitely
ever
played with
did he
Kobe.
he played with
Definitely
Kobe?
played with. Yeah, well, no, he didn't play with Kobe, but just played during that like early
Oh, okay,
2000s years,
okay.
or excuse me, mid 2000s years.
He played in
Did
the
not play with
mid.
Kobe. I guess I just gave you that one.
He did not play with. Okay, so he wasn't on the Lakers. Like
Yeah, that doesn't
that
help that.
helps. Um, did he ever win a title?
Ooh, wasn't ready for that one. Looks like no. Nope.
What about an MVP?
Got really close with a team, but no. MVP,
Okay.
no. We're deep into the super role player.
Oh, so was he a starter?
Yes, for multiple
Okay.
teams, but not always.
What year did he retire in?
I'll give you that. 2021.
Oh, okay, yeah, he just retired.
I would
He
start
played.
going for like race teams. Best
Is he
team, best
is
player
he
you ever
black?
played with.
Is he
Huh?
black? Is he black?
No.
Oh, so he's not black. Okay, okay, that's interesting. Now it's getting kind of spicy. I guess who's the best player he played with?
um, Dwight Howard in his prime. Uh, he's played up with Luca. He played with Joel.
What?
Who was on the team? Those are some really heavy hands, but I mean the times are so like what I'm saying, like
Well, you
Dwight
said he.
Howard in his
If you
prime.
said, I was about to say, if he played on with Prime Dwight, I assume you mean on the Magic.
Yes.
So okay, so he played with. See, I don't know anything about that team. You said he played with Luca, and he played with Joel. So he's been on Dallas and Philly, and he just retired. Was he a point guard or a shooting guard?
I think he played both. I'm not sure. I think he was two guard though for sure.
A two
He's
guard,
not black.
and he's not black.
I'll give you the ultimate hint, but you're gonna get it right after.
Go ahead and
You
give
ready
it
for?
to me, cause
All
I'm
right. The
on.
ultimate hint is he's the talk of the town, and he's an analyst.
Talk of the town.
Yeah.
Oh, is it
Wow.
dude?
He does something very similar to what we do on this show.
He has a podcast. Oh God, I just suck
Oh
at
my
this so
god, you should
bad.
have it.
I'm
He has
sorry.
he has a podcast now with the most successful player in NBA history.
Oh
And
God, I
your
suck.
former
I'm about to
American,
get roasted.
your former Duke standout, Orlando Magic, Milwaukee Buck, Los Angeles Clipper, Philadelphia Sixer, New Orleans Pelican, Dallas Maverick, JJ Redick.
You know what's funny is for some reason I was picturing like JJ Redick's face, but not his name. Because like I swear I was picturing his face, but for some reason I kept thinking Jason Kidd, and I was like, no, that's not Jason Kidd. Like what the?
See, I strongly felt like he finished his career with the Pelicans, but I guess he got traded before the deadline and finished it with Dallas. So he ended up playing with them. But yeah, he was all those prime years in Orlando. He played for Orlando from 06 to 2013. What year did they make it to the finals? Like 2010 it was?
That sounds about right.
It was like whenever Kobe was, I think it's 09 then, when Kobe was on the cover of that next 2K10. Yeah, after he won his last championship.
Yeah.
So he was on that team, and I honestly don't remember him. All I remember is Dwight Howard and Hedo Turkoglu. Their point guard too. I forgot their point guard. He was like a light skinned dude. Anyways,
yeah,
that was a rough one, L Boogie. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you could have got that one, but
I'm gonna get roasted in the comments. I bet.
Yeah, you got it. L Boogie's trivia.
All right, my trivia question to you as I was just talking about, should the Dolphins sign Tua to a max extension? Me personally, I don't think so because these deals can be kind of pricey. Uh, but my question to you, A. Bell, can you name the players who have the top or the highest NFL salaries ever? And they are all quarterbacks.
Peyton
And
Manning.
they're all currently active. I'll start you
Wow,
there.
like the top ever?
Ever for
Patrick Mahomes.
average yearly salary. No, Patrick Mahomes is number 8 on this list.
What the hell? Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is number 3.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's number 9.
Wow, what in the world is going on? Russell Wilson.
I thought that was
Put
the
an
one
extra
that was
3
going to
million
take
on
you a
it.
while. Russell Wilson is in number 5. That extension he signed and never played on, $49 million a year.
Plus 3 million he's gonna be making this year for the vet minimum. Jesus. I'm trying to think who's still left in the league on those high budgets. We're talking about
All
Aaron
playing,
Rodgers could
all
be, but is
playing and
he?
all young. All playing and all young.
Aaron Rodgers isn't on there? I feel like he just got as much money as he wanted to finish his career.
He is not in the top 10.
Wow. All young. Did Justin Herbert just sign his extension?
Justin Herbert, number 2 at $52.5 million a year.
Who makes more money than Justin Herbert? None of them should make more money than Lamar Jackson, but let's go for Young is a tough one. How much does Tua make? He's like number 6, huh? Oh no, that's rookie contract. I'm trying to think because now they're starting to get older, but I don't know who has their new contracts. Let me get a hint. Oh, Dackery Prescott.
Nope. Dak is like
Not in the top 10?
He's in the 10. He's at the end of his contract. His contract's kind of now it's not that high, relatively. Think Super Bowls. Think Super Bowl losers.
Cam Newton. No, I'm just. Let's do Super Bowl losers. Joe B. He's not that old.
B. He got $55 million a year. Highest paid quarterback right now in the NFL.
My goodness. Who am I missing? Number 4?
Yeah, number 4. You're close, you think. Think Super Bowl loser.
Loser. Shouts out Patty M's for not being selfish. Super Bowl loser.
And it's kind of recent.
Super recent or kind of recent?
Super recent.
Who lost this year? Yeah, Brock Purdy's a child. Who lost last year? It's not Matthew Stafford or nobody. It's I'm trying to think. Joe B just lost super recently.
More recent than that.
Damn,
you should get this. That should be pretty easy.
Who played last year?
It was the Chiefs versus.
Oh, I can't believe I'm blanking out. Last year's Super Bowls.
I'll give you the team or think Fly.
Oh wow! How much is Jalen Hurts making?
Jalen Hurts, $51 million a year.
And let me say something about Jalen Hurts. When I always say it, and I've said it multiple times on this show, when I was 18 years old and trying to play D2 football, he was the starting quarterback at 18 years old for Alabama. I've always followed Jalen Hurts' career, so I'm glad he's making his bag. Well-deserved bag, too. Even with the sloppier season last year, first of all, don't act like the beginning of the season wasn't amazing for them. They were the number 1 throughout most of the season. It just kind of fell apart at the end. Shouts out Jalen Hurts, man. So if he was the year before Tua, and Tua's on his 5th year, yeah, he just got his bag, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out Jalen Hurts, man. Make these millions. You deserve it. But alrighty, that is how that worked out. That was a pretty good one. I did a lot better than I thought. All right, moving on to segment number 3 of the day. Of course, it's L Boogie and the Bell's topics for the week. L Boogie, what do you got for me?
All right, we're getting down to the wire in the NBA season, which means it's now time to start really focusing on who deserves these NBA season awards. So, my question to you, Abel, who do you think is who deserves to be the NBA MVP this season?
Based off of what I know, I don't know. So how consistent do you feel? How consistent do you think Nikola Jokic's season has been compared to how spectacular? What, eighth or ninth seed, sixth? Well, maybe like a sixth or seventh seed Luka Doncic has been.
I mean, when you look at just the numbers, Luca is obviously doing well. I mean, he's scoring more. He might have one extra assist a game. Um, but the thing is, that's like he's. I think what Nikola Jokic does propels the team further than what Luka Doncic does,
But
and
look at the construction.
but you can see it. You can see it just in how. I mean, think about it like this: Which team do you think would be worse? Do you think it'd be the Nuggets without Jokic or the Mavs without Luca? Because I personally, if you take out Luca, your Mavs team is going to be essentially the same. The only difference is Kyrie Irving's going to have the ball more, and he's just going to score more points. You're going to have that same team who doesn't play defense, who doesn't do. I mean, they score decent. They have decent offense, but doesn't do much on defense. But without Jokic, the Nuggets are not even close to the number one seed. They're more like a 5, 6, maybe a play-in.
But that's not bad knowing that Luka's keeping his team alive. So like there's no life in his team. The Nuggets could sneak away with being a team that will take you 4-3 in the first round if Nikola did go down. So Luka's team, they're like not even a team. You know, you just have Kyrie just playing around with people's ankles, and that would be the highlight of their season. It'd be like a Bradley Beal situation when it's like, yeah, you could do what you want, but as a team, you guys are constructed horribly.
Mm.
So the only reason I won't give it to Shea Gildress is because I know he's not gonna win over Jokic, just because I think there's gonna be some like age bias in there, and then of course Jokic he took his spot at number one. Like, you know, they're all competing for that top three. I know that I feel strongly that the Nuggets are going to finish in that one seed, and that propels him above Shea winning it. I got a little list here. Giannis is just behind Shea, and like I said, I got Nikola over him. So it's kind of like I don't see him getting it either. Jason Tatum's on this list, and yeah, they're having very impactful seasons, but I don't want nobody on the Celtics to worry about any type of MVP until they make it to the finals and win. Like their mission at the MVP just makes them look worse this season, right? With the
Yeah.
Sixers, it's like Joel could win MVP, and it's like, okay, well, it's either injuries or something happens with the team. The Celtics, I don't want them to worry about SHIT, but going to the finals and putting up a real contention. And I got Luka at number 5, so I'm like, I got Luka at 2, honestly, just because of the points, though. Like when you're scoring 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists on a nightly basis, you're Russell Westbrook. Like you're playing harder than everybody else. You're exerting more energy, and you're doing it night in and night out, and not complaining. And how happy is he in Dallas to be doing this? You know, he wants to compete for a championship, I'm sure. And he's only 25. Do you believe that?
He's
He's in the
super
25 and
young.
under club.
He's super young, dude. Like, and the thing is
What?
too, he doesn't really get like seriously hurt either.
Well, him and Nicole, they're not athletic. So they don't do too much extra jumping or bouncing or moving, but
Well, obviously they don't need to.
yeah, I'm like I wouldn't be too worried about it either. Which I'm surprised he's such a good rebounder. I guess height, but he's a point guard.
He's tall for a point guard though. He's like
Yeah.
6'6", 6'7". I don't know. I think unfortunately it may come down to a situation like last year where personally I think Jokic should have won MVP last year. I think they just gave it to Joel because they didn't want Jokic to win it a third time in a row. And I can honestly see it coming down to the wire here and people being like, oh, is it going to be Jokic? Oh, is it going to be Luka? And they're going to give it to Luka just because Jokic is a 2-time MVP. And if you make him a 3-time MVP, what are you saying about Jokic? Which personally, I think he's
3-time MVP and a potential championship on the line, double 2 in a row. It could get dangerous
that
for it.
man. Like you're like. So I don't know. I feel like that's what's going to end up happening is he might get robbed down the stretch, but I think he deserves it personally. The team vying for the number 1 seed. He is the engine on that team. He's the orchestrator of the offense. Like he's everything.
And we're considering it like a comeback, but it's not a comeback. Like it's they're literally only 3 places away from each other. Those top 3 seeds, or excuse me, they're like a game to 2 games to 0.5 games away from each other. Those top 3 seeds. So it's like them taking that back over is just letting everybody know at the end of the season, like, you guys realize this is picking up now. So you guys had all that fun while we were dealing with our injuries and everything. I think Nikola Jokic is going to win it. And I that's my head fronter for shouts out to what's it, Michael Porter, who just signed a crazy contract. Shouts out to him. Did you see that?
He signed another extension?
I think he got like a 5-year or some ridiculous extension.
He just signed that? Because I thought he'd signed that like a while ago.
Did he?
Or not like a year or 2 ago.
No way.
I'm serious. Yeah, I don't know if it was recent unless I'm missing something.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just saw something about it.
Yeah, he signed it on 2021.
Oh, well, no, I'm just tripping. I'll edit that out. But I saw something about his contract. I was like, damn, he got extended that long in Denver. And I guess he just really is. So we got faith in him. We got faith in that team. And we got faith in the MVP of the league as well. So they're my head runners to take everything. MVPs and championships on the way there. So what about you?
Like which team do I think is the best? Or who's gonna take it?
Oh, you already answered. You got Nikola, right? I already asked you the second.
I think Nikola. Yeah, Jokic. It's not really a question.
Oh yeah, it's not close.
Personally,
to me.
I think over the last 4 years, he's been the best player in the NBA.
I will argue Joel's year just because you gotta look at teams, and that's why I say Luka. Without Luka, the team is like bottom 3 seeds in the entire conference. Bottom 5 teams in the entire league. Without Nikola, they're really competing in the first round. Now, I don't care if they're 4th. They're probably like a 4th seed to 8th seed, or 4th to 9th seed. I don't think they're competing out of the first round without Nikola, but they're still making it to the playoffs and still taking a team 3 games. I'm talking about like a number 1 seed. So like they're taking a OKC to game 7 in the first round.
Yeah, without Jokic, I don't know, man.
I think so. I think they got it's a squad. It's a well-constructed squad, if you ask me.
It is. No, I think it is a well-constructed
fun city
squad
to play basketball in. You got the Mile High. Like I think the squad is pretty legit. But moving on, we are actually going to go into a light topic simply because I know nothing about women's college basketball, but it's going to be exciting. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stars there. I'm sure that we're going to be tuning in. Shouts out to all the ladies at LSU. Shouts out to Iowa. They are officially in the Elite 8. You got Caitlin Clark versus Angela Reese rematch. I'm strictly just following the hype. I don't follow women's basketball. I actually don't follow men's college basketball. But I think it's cool for them to make their bag, get their NIL money, get ready for their futures, because I'm not sure. I think this is both of their last years.
I think Caitlin Clark, it's her last year. I think Angel, she could come back for another year if she wants to.
Well, she probably should. I'm pretty sure that college money's treating her better, and plus you got to get that degree. So who you got? Who you think wins it, and how big of a... As a matter of fact, not only who do you got, but how big of a show that you think it's going to be compared to the rest of the tournament playing out?
Oh, it should be a show. Like it should be it should be a spectacle. I think as far as who I got winning, like a part of me really wants to say Iowa, just because Caitlin Clark is so dominant. But I think overall, I think LSU has the better team.
Really?
And I think they're gonna scheme and do everything they can not to stop Caitlin Clark, but to slow her down. Just slow her down and play your game. I think LSU is going to take it. Um,
Okay.
Even though I really do want Iowa to do it. I do. I think it'd be fun. But I don't know. LSU is just a really solid team all around.
See, I don't even want to sit here and act like I know scheme for scheme, but out of every single college basketball game that happened, this is the only one I'll tune into. Shouts out to Colorado for making it to the Sweet 16. Yeah, I was at a place and this guy's like, "Are you guys watching the game?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't know what you're talking about," but Colorado made it to the Sweet 16, so that's dope.
Yeah, and then Iowa smoked them.
Yeah, they did. Alrighty, man. It looks like it was a short one this week, huh?
Yeah, chill show. We just I mean, it's the end of the NBA season. We're paying attention to NFL. We're kind of past the free agency hype. So yeah, we're just kind of settling into the spring. Shoot, the UFL started yesterday.
You know, I did not know it was called the UFL. So this is the first thing I did when I was looking at ESPN. I was like, "Oh, another league." I'm like, "Bro, like, come on, like, let's just have one, like, one." And then I looked into it more, and I was like, it was like the Seattle Sea Dragons. I was like, that's an XFL team, and I know that they
Mhm.
merged. I was just hoping that they didn't just make another one to compete.
No,
But it
it's
was
a
just the
merge.
merger. I didn't know that The Rock gave up XFL for UFL during the merger. I would have preferred XFL because it was big to me that The Rock purchased XFL, and XFL was a long name, but perfectly fine with it. I hope people watch some football. I mean, it's not the same, but it does give us something to watch. I was really bored on my Easter Sunday. Didn't go with family or nothing. Like I would have loved to watch some football.
Yeah, honestly, I wish they would pick. I don't. A part of me wishes they didn't do it on Saturday. I wish they did it on Sunday. To be real with
Yeah,
you, because Sundays are pretty empty, and it's not like the NFL is doing anything on Sundays in the spring. So, like, why not take the day that everyone's already used to? Because I promise you, if they had played some games today, I would have tuned in. I would have had it on. I just kind of looked at highlights earlier, but
for
I would have
sure.
watched the game today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good one. But yeah, we got the UFL to look out to, so we'll definitely catch up with some highlights and some ridiculous thing that goes on in that league. But other than that, this has been L Boogie and the Bell. L Boogie, you want to take us out?
Hey, once again, appreciate all y'all for tuning in. L Boogie and the Bell. We're gonna be here every Sunday, giving y'all the same good content. So make sure y'all tune into the YouTube, like and subscribe all our videos and the shorts. Follow us on TikTok. Send us a comment, man. Let us know what you guys think about what we're saying. If we say something crazy, if we're saying something you agree with, let us a comment. Let us know. Also, if there's anything y'all want to see us do, let us know. We're open to ideas, and we're always looking for ways to expand the show. So, but as always, appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Peace.